Influencer marketing. It's the big buzzword in the crypto and NFT industry. Why? Because it's one of the fastest ways to get exposure to your project, build awareness, and hype up what you're working on. In this webinar, we're going to break down exactly how we operate as Crowdcreate, one of the top rated influencer marketing agencies, and give you tips and strategies on how you could even do it yourself. Stay tuned. We answer a lot of your frequently asked questions, like how do you work with influencers? How much do influencers cost? How soon can we get started? What's it like to negotiate with an influencer? How do you get connected with some of the largest influencers in the world, like BitBoy Crypto, Crypto Wendy-O, and start going viral on YouTube and Twitter? If you have any questions about influencer marketing, put it in the video comments below, and we'll be sure to answer it. My name is Jeffrey. I'm one of the co-founders here at Crowdcreate. And this webinar, again, is meant to be very educational and to share insights into what we do as a crypto and NFT influencer marketing agency and how we help some of the big brands out there and also startup projects get exposure to their projects, companies through influencer marketing. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, why should you trust us? In the world of influencers, there's a lot to be understood. And also one of the reasons why you should trust us here at Crowdcreate is that we've worked with over 300 plus companies. And that's not just in crypto and NFTs. It really runs the gamut across multiple industries, being consumer, gaming, renewable energy, Amazon, real estate, private equity, esports, co-living, and everything in between. Over the last 6 years, we've created a network of over 15,000 experts. And these are everything from startup founders to CEOs, investors, influencers themselves, fans, and just generally people part of the ecosystem. What we try and foster here at Crowdcreate, hence the name of our company, is this idea of crowdsourced wisdom and intelligence. And that ultimately there is this grassroots movement of having people basically talk about different projects that are going on, and it has become the new medium of choice for communication that's out there. As such, through our influencer network and through the various projects we've done, we've raised over $133 million, again, across multiple industries, from startups to real estate, cannabis, CBD, and currently what is the bulk, crypto and NFTs. So we run one of the largest crypto networks. We've been around in the crypto space since 2017. At our last conference, you may have heard the CEO of Solana speak, Mark Yusko, Miko Matsumura, various other founders that have been early in the space, CEO of Rarible.com. We also launched an NFT conference in March. And then we had on CEO of Super Rare, CEO of Immutable. And really, we take this collaborative approach to bringing together this community of thought leaders. And also through these events, we get to learn more. We get to learn more about the companies that are attending. After every conference, we actually touch base with all of them and just kind of understand what they're doing from a marketing standpoint, fundraising, getting exposure. So in terms of our background and insights when it comes to influencer marketing, we are connected with these companies. And again, we take a very collaborative approach to getting them exposure and understanding what's working, what influencers have performed well. And that's ultimately where we are today. And so we're very active on Twitter. Any random influencer or personality that reaches out to us, we always welcome them with collaboration in mind. So here's some of the top tier brands that trust us when it comes to influencer marketing, promotion, events, and all of the above. These are some household names that you've seen around since 2017, and a lot of them also got started in 2021 in our recent bull run, which is today. So why influencers are the biggest marketing buzzword in crypto and NFTs? I wanted to highlight here one of the articles that was published on Bloomberg, how these Wall Street influencers are making $500,000 topping bankers, as we noticed that where capital flows usually that money and attention is shared amongst the industry. And so you see a lot of people leaving traditional jobs and creating YouTube channels because it's a way to add value to the ecosystem. And in terms of influencer marketing as a communication channel, here at Crowdcreate, we actually host these crypto and blockchain masterminds where we invite on different CEOs and founders. This one here was from March of earlier this year, and we specifically asked these CEO and founders, what is the most effective marketing channel for driving awareness and engagement? And their response was influencer marketing. So we have here Austin, and we also have on Crypto Wendy O, and congratulations to both of them on just building a successful influencer brand. So what do we do here at Crowdcreate? We ultimately help you leverage the largest influencers in the world. And we work with both large mega influencers like BitBoy Crypto, 1.3 million subscribers, Brian Jung, to also some of the crypto and NFT OGs, like Bad Crypto Podcasts. Joel Comm is his name, who's been running events in his own podcast since the early days of crypto, and also Peter Saddington, most famous for the Bitcoin Lamborghini guy. And so in their own right, when we you use the word influencer, it's really anybody that has influence in terms of being a well-respected thought leader to share their insights, opinion, news on various topics, from crypto and NFTs to just financial money management and everything in between. So we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We regularly publish videos about crypto and NFT influencers. We also interview these influencers, and we try and make it as educational as possible. We did a video here with Crypto Wendy O in terms of how companies and startups can work with her and just other influencers. And this is a really good quote in terms of her recommendation is to create a positive brand image and make it sustainable. Influencers can also have a negative connotation. For better or for worse, there are some influencers that have been promoting different rug pulls, scams, and really we work with those that have a good reputation, that are bringing forth, entertainment, excitement, and information to the industry that can help onboard more users, because ultimately we all have a shared goal in mind of bringing forth crypto, blockchain, and NFT technology. And so, she provided a really good insights here in regards to crypto and influencer marketing, is that rather than a one-shot video, she actually recommends multiple videos, because her fan base and subscribers are very educated and intelligent in terms of they want to make sure that Crypto Wendy O is actually using the project that she's talking about. And if she is passionate, she would bring it up multiple times. And so there's a 20-minute video on our YouTube channel about how you can work with influencers and just some strategies and overall techniques that you can implement in your own influencer marketing campaigns. She actually just did a video with us for a company we're working with called Abra. And both her and the client are very happy about what was produced. Here's another video with Ben Armstrong and BitBoy Crypto, as he's known on YouTube, over 1.3 million subscribers. His channel, I think just as of a year or 2 years ago, really was that exponential growth because of everything that's going on in the markets. And, this is something interesting when you are, one of the largest crypto YouTubers, is that he turns down 98 to 99% of the opportunities that he's offered. He's even been offered before $1 million for a review, and he actually told them no. Ben's a great guy, and he, is very proud of what he's built in terms of community education. And he makes sure that the projects that he works with are ultimately a good strategic alignments with his YouTube brand. So overall, when it comes to influencer marketing, consider influencer marketing not your end all be all, but it is one of the components in your overall marketing strategy. So what we do here at Crowdcreate, we take a very holistic approach to marketing. And that includes everything from influencer marketing, investor marketing, PR, creating videos and interviews with the team, having a good pitch deck, website, showing up at events and conferences, AMAs, posting regularly to your social media, having a paid acquisition funnel, and community management, of course, being active on Discord, Telegram, and ultimately SEO, where people can easily find you. So again, when it comes to influencer marketing, we like to consider it as putting fuel on the fire, and consider it a portion of your overall marketing strategy that could drive brand awareness to what you're doing. So when you do influencer marketing, we want to make sure that you have a proper marketing funnel in place. So again, when you do a YouTube video or a Twitter promotion with an influencer, that is what we consider awareness, top of the funnel. Maybe you're trying to tap into new audiences that you haven't discussed before. If you have an NFT project that's tapping into anything from the sneaker community to gaming to arts, movies, music, and whatever that subculture is, make sure that when they do watch the video, you have other marketing material and also a proper process so you can turn that view into a user, into an investor, or some kind of engaged follower. So in terms of that funnel, influencers can get you your reach and exposure. Ultimately, you want to turn them into a loyal user that is referring other customers, investors into your platform. And that's when you can drive down the cost of your influencer marketing spend in terms of cost per acquisition, getting very technical. That's influencer marketing. Most people look at influencer marketing and they evaluate the ROI based on actual clicks within the video. But it's something that you should understand is that when these influencer marketing videos get posted, they usually go to Reddit or they go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they learn more about your project, and they may click on something else that was going to take attribution for the video. So overall, videos are a great way just to get exposure and just drive awareness for your project. So in terms of getting started on influencer marketing, really, we have a checklist here in terms of these influencers. Number one, if you are to do it yourself, and what we've been doing here at Crowdcreate for the last 6 years, is build a true relationship with them. Don't make this a transactional, here's a, pay for YouTube video or to tweet, because these people are ultimately your brand ambassadors that are going to be there, not just for that one video, but also word of mouth and talking, about your project later down the line. So here's kind of our checklist and what we do. We follow all of our influencers on social media. We support them and what they're doing. This is Michael Wagner, the CEO of Star Atlas. They were one of Solana's most successful NFT and gaming projects. And we're regularly engaging with him, retweeting any updates that he has, commenting on any posts, any new strategic partnerships that he has launched. We attend their own live sessions and conferences. We attend the conferences of other conference organizers in our space. And ultimately, you need to put in the time to engage with them so that they would reciprocate back to you. And it's a very relationship driven business in terms of the exact tactics. You can ask questions, and you can also do an ego boost. Is that at the end of the day, people want to feel good and want to be supported as a project creator. It is very difficult being an entrepreneur and also being a founder at times, and positive reinforcement and the ego boost can go a long way. Make sure that you research what they're working on, and that goes for going into their social media channels, Twitter, YouTube, everything in between, and sending them value add messages that help support them in their goal. So in terms of creating a strategic partnership, some examples of when you work with these influencers, think about how you can also add value to their channel and send them a pitch message that does add value. When we send pitch messages to our influencers, they're usually highly customized, knowing what they're interested in, knowing what they're engaging in, and knowing why our client will ultimately be a good fit. And one of the reasons why we run our crypto conferences is for this exact reason, is so we can build that relationship with our influencers, with our clients, and everybody in between. So in terms of relationship building, this is the checklist that we use. And we also make sure we do this on a weekly, quarterly, and also monthly basis. So when it comes to working with influencers, we recommend that you actually get connected through a warm introduction. Yes, it can be valuable if you go in and just send them out a cold email. And the way that you can do warm introductions is through this kind of diagram. And the saying is that we're all like 7 degrees of separation, I think it is. But we've been tasked before with trying to get connected with Justin Bieber. And the way that we were able to connect with Justin Bieber was that we identified one of his friends that he goes skateboarding with. And he was this photographer. We sent that person out a DM and also got introductions through other influencers that we worked with. And they ultimately were able to make the connection. And even when it comes to bringing in speakers for our conference, our last conference was actually crowdsourced. The CEO of Solana, became a speaker at our event, not because of, cold outreach, but because it was a great opportunity. And we were introduced through another investor on them being a great speaker to share the vision of what Solana is trying to do. So again, of course, there's really good tools being Twitter, LinkedIn, and different social media websites to be able to find out the best way to get in touch with these YouTube influencers, investors, or kind of everything in between. So here's something really important when it comes to working with influencers. Beware of fake influencers. I do want to play this great TikTok video that kind of explains what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and play it here.
I created a fake business guru. I hit up a friend asking if he could do a quick photo shoot. We went out and took some pictures of him in front of nice homes, nice cars, just slapped off lifestyle type stuff. And then created an Instagram account with the name Sam Satoshi. That's right, we're making an NFT guru. And on this account, I posted the photos we took, even a celebrity endorsement that I paid for.
Satoshi, this dude is the real deal.
I also paid a publication to write up an article about Sam, paid for some followers, some likes, even custom comments. And our finished result, Sam Satoshi, a well-known NFT expert millionaire mentor. With this, I started DMing people from the account, offering different courses and Discord accesses to see if people would see right through it. But to my surprise, without much convincing at all, people were willing to send money to this random Instagram account. People even started DMing the account first, asking for mentorship. The results of this experiment were honestly shocking. Don't trust everything you see on the internet. But anyways, that's how I created a fake business guru. I hit up a friend asking.
Yep. So was everybody able to see and hear that video okay? And if you can, would appreciate like a thumbs up in the chat, and just to make sure that it's being viewed properly. But in terms of beware of fake influencers, again, it is very easy to create a social profile and to look like a successful crypto or NFT influencer that are touting their gains, or them being an expert in the space. You can do that, and beware of that. And the way that you could prevent that from happening with a potential influencer is to ask for referrals. And so in the case of the Sam Satoshi or other influencers that we've worked with, we always do background checks just to make sure that there's nothing fishy that's going on, and especially when you send payment to these influencers. Payments usually vary. Some influencers, would create the video before payment. Some influencers request 50% upfront, and other influencers would even request that you pay the full amount upfront. And so just want to protect all of you out there when it comes to it, influencer marketing. We've seen quite a bit, and especially when the markets are at all-time highs and people are looking for quick profits. Sometimes these influencers scams become more rampant. You can also ask for previous clients that they've worked with. Here's another trick and something we do here at Crowdcreate. In terms of performance, we also do due diligence and research to ask influencers how a previous campaign that they did in a similar industry performed. And that's how you are able to know if there's going to be fake comments, fake reviews being posted. Subscribers can be also faked as well. And so just be aware, a lot of the views that you've seen, there are bots out there that could even put fake engagement comments on previous YouTube videos that are being made. And so the way that we do that here is through a very strict due diligence and research process. And we also have had relationships with these influencers over the years, and we've done multiple projects with them. So we understand basically everything that has been done, what they're working on, and just to make sure that you're working with a good long-term partner. Here's another good example is to check their community. A lot of times these influencers also have Discord groups, or they're part of other Discord groups, and you can see what the general tone is around that influencer. And here's something that's really interesting. You can check their crypto payments wallet. So when you are planning on working with Sam Satoshi or any of these crypto influencers, ask them for the address where you'd like to send payments. And typically when you ask for that, Etherscan address, you could see if they are indeed working with other clients and they are a legitimate influencer that is transacting regularly. So here's something else you need to, if for anyone that's new to the crypto and NFT industry, Crowdcreate, we've been here since 2017. And also when it comes to the SEC and these influencers promoting what could potentially be deemed securities. We've seen it. Ian Bellina, we actually, he covered a number of our clients' projects back in 2017. He was the most controversial and also largest crypto influencer at the time. He would drive in millions of dollars into an ICO. And you could see here that a lot of it now is surfacing in terms of just the way that it happened, and also why this promotion also was not deemed compliant according to the SEC and FTC. So during 2017, if anyone's new to the crypto industry, there were also influencer scams with large celebrities. So this is an article here from the SEC, where in 2018, both Floyd Mayweather and also DJ Khaled, who was working on a project called the Centra ICO, they were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and also given tokens, I believe, to promote this, what was unregistered security. And it ended up, coming back to haunt them and also the founders. It's still happening today. You could follow this YouTuber. His name is CoffeeZilla, and he is a very good investigative YouTuber that actually goes behind the scenes and understands what's going on with these influencer scams. So you can see here over the last 2 weeks, there was something going on with these crypto casinos, offshore gambling websites that very popular influencers were promoting, and it is not legal here in the USA to be on these websites, and they had them basically doing it through a VPN, and in terms of making sure that if you are to work with these influencers, it is wise to do your due diligence and understand what kind of projects they're going to be working on, because these influencers will be associated with your name. So something to look out for, and just make sure you do due diligence. This is something we do here at Crowdcreate when it comes down to choosing the right influencers, that we make sure that they are legitimate. So how do we know who are the best influencers? Because influencers are very subjective. Some can be more favored to others. This is a reason why we created what we consider the new Forbes list. It's actually these crowdsourced lists of influencers. And so what makes us different is that when we're looking for crypto TikTok influencers or NFT influencers on YouTube, we actually crowdsource who people think are the most legitimate and also reputable influencers. And so we would reach out to these influencers themselves and ask them, hey, who is somebody that you respect in the industry that truly has influence? And by doing this, we're able to kind of foster this list of influencers that are trusted and that truly have influencer clout. So they're almost the influencer of influencers. And so you can actually visit our website on the Crowdcreate lists, and you can find these crowdsourced lists here. Also, if you go to Google, we rank #1 organically for many of these key terms, because it has become the respected list in the industry. So if you just type in DeFi influencers, NFT influencers, crypto gaming influencers on Google, you'll see that we organically rank, because it is being very well respected in terms of that. So I wanted to share, this is a client of ours, and this video was actually just posted a couple days ago by one of our favorite crypto influencers. Her name is Wendy, Crypto Wendy O, and I'm going to break down what's a influencer engagement looks like. And this is really a good model in terms of what we can deliver for you, and also what you can also do on your own.
Welcome back. On today's show, we are going to be covering an amazing platform that incorporates all different aspects of DeFi. Thank you so much to Abra for sponsoring this video. And please note that CPRX was created by the Crypto Banking Alliance and granted to Abra to power Abra PERX rewards. I am not a financial advisor, and this content is for educational purposes. Now, what the heck is Abra? Abra is a comprehensive platform for managing your crypto. It is a custodial wallet that is supported in over 150 countries, and you can buy and trade over 100 plus different cryptocurrencies, which that I absolutely love. You get to earn interest, and you get to actually get a loan against your crypto if that is something that you need. But always make sure to research that before applying for a loan. And yes, Abra is a very similar service to Celsius and BlockFi, except that Abra supports trading for 100 plus different cryptocurrencies in 150 plus places. Now, let's go ahead, head over to the Abra platform. We're going to talk about airdrops. We're going to talk about some of the financial services they offer and all of the really cool features.
So you can go ahead and play this, and again, this deck will be readily available. And we wanted to break down everything that went on behind the scenes for this influencer engagement, and why it's really the model and what we can execute for some of our clients out there. So again, Crypto Wendy O, something you want to notice here is her disclaimers at the beginning of the video. You want to highlight as well how Crypto Wendy O, all the numbers, the facts, the figures with the company was extremely dialed in. That's what's considered a read through when it comes to influencer marketing. Also the pronunciation, you would be surprised when working with these influencers. Sometimes they do not pronunciate or pronounce your brand properly. And we've been doing so many crypto videos since 2017. We understand the full conversion cycle when it's awareness, discovery, actually engaging with the platform, signing up, what questions they may have. These are all things that we think about well before we approach an influencer and what we consider the brief. Also, what makes Crypto Wendy O so incredible is that you could see here in the video description, she has a very catchy title, Best Crypto Lending and Borrowing Platform. It's heavily SEO optimized. It also clears with the FTC to make sure that this was indeed sponsored. And it also has a referral link here too, where you can track the success of this campaign, and which also leads into multiple influencer engagements with various clients. And so she's very clear to say that this is not investment advice. She links back to the company, and she also has multiple hashtags and keyword terms, because these influencer videos ideally would last you for the next 2 to 3 years. And once Google SEO and optimization would kick in, when people are searching for the best crypto lending platform, this video would organically shoot up to the top of their feed. And so this here is the this here is also the web page that was created with Abra. And so I believe, and let me make sure it's, so here it is. This is the viral sign up page that was strategized alongside the client before this video went live. And so when it comes to influencer marketing, we make sure that you have a very good awareness strategy with, they clearly understand the influencer, what it is that your platform does. And then when they click into the link that's provided, you would drive them into what we consider a viral sign-up page. And so these sign-up pages are also carefully constructed and curated and strategized alongside our team, so that we use heat map tracking tools to really explain what you do and what you do well at the top of the page. Because when people visit websites, you really only have 2 to 3 seconds to capture their attention and understand what it is that they're looking for, and give it to them as quickly as possible. So I wanted to highlight here, in terms of a viral sign-up page, you're going to be noticing this with a lot of the top IDOs, or even projects like Coinbase, for example. They did this with their NFT launch, where it has a viral mechanism, where there is a unique link where the more people you refer, the rewards usually increase. So whether that's moving up in the line to get access to the platform, or also getting more rewards. And so you can see here, we did the text setup for this. You would go ahead and follow them on Twitter. You'd retweet, you'd visit them on YouTube. You can have them follow you on Instagram, join a Telegram, also sign up for your email newsletter, and refer additional people. In this campaign that we did for them, over 300,000 entries were generated, and this is still live. And so again, you may not get it right the first time in terms of creating a highly converting viral page. What we recommend is we set up these heat map tracking tools to understand what people are looking for, putting in the appropriate accolades and social proof. If you are a platform that includes features in Forbes, talking about your total value locked, talking about any security audits, talking about your team, talking about the accolades that you have, any partnerships, it's very clearly and concisely communicating what makes your platform a good choice for them. And so, at the end of the day, have those call to actions clearly on that page, so that they can go ahead and sign up for it. So, what we sent over to an influencer, and using that video as an example, it's actually a 7-page document. It is extremely, well thought out. Again, we've been doing crypto and NFT influencer marketing for the last Well, since 2017, so that's 4 years now. And again, in terms of proper FTC guidelines, you must disclose that it is a sponsored video. Also be aware, you could see here in this checklist that we send over to the influencer beforehand. It's a 7-page document. The very first thing is to usually disclose, thank you to the client for sponsoring this video. And go ahead and make sure that all those disclosures are in place. When it comes to SEC guidelines, I'm not a lawyer. This is not financial or legal advice, but you must be aware of what they call the Howey test. And it's this 4 criteria. Is it an investment of money? Is it a common enterprise? Is there an expectation of profits? And is there also, is anything derived from the efforts of others? And so I know, specifically with NFTs, with DeFi, there isn't clear guidance as of yet, but we have seen it in the past where just make sure that even NFTs can be construed as securities if you are promoting the potential profits or value of something going up. And again, when it comes to influencer marketing, you need to make sure that you stay clear of these SEC guidelines. And we've learned because we work with multiple legal counsel and attorneys to be able to help us craft out these guidelines and make sure that you are doing it properly and in compliance with just local regulations and guidelines in whatever jurisdictions you are in. So again, that was a 7-page document. And when it comes to, kind of mastering the content designed for conversions, you have to think about what it's like for Crypto Wendy O's audience, or any influencers for that matter, when they see the tweet, when they see the YouTube video. We typically have multiple sections in that document that we send over, and we discuss the creative side of it. Something where the influencer can craft that video to meet their audience's expectations, or even just in terms of it providing value. We are also very clear on where the branded segment should be inserted. A lot of times clients use us as that third party to make sure that the deliverables are met, especially when you're spending, what could be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on influencer marketing, to make sure that you do get the deliverables that you are expecting out of that engagement. We also, include the mandatory disclosures about FTC, and having that within the first 30 seconds. There was mandatory talking points, but we do allow for adaptations to their own wording. So you can visit our website. You can see all the different influencer marketing videos that we've made in the past. And we do make sure that, the call to action is clear and concise. And we do make sure that we can even have revisions with some of these videos as well, and make sure that it's properly done. So visual guidelines, watch outs, those are all included in our documents when we work with our clients, and also to make sure that we have an SEO optimized title and description. And the way that you can figure that out is usually through Google Analytics or whatever tracking tool, when you start figuring out website traffic and once it comes in, and also how what works and what audiences you should be tapping into. Here's a frequently asked question that we get, and it's usually what are the influencer timelines like, and how long does it take for an influencer to create content for me? Again, in times of bull and bear markets, it's something to understand is that sometimes an influencer in a bear market, they may be getting only 2 to 3 inquiries a week. And then in a bull market, they would be getting 60 to 70 inquiries per week. So when it comes down to timelines, you have to think of supply and demand, and also production schedule based on these crypto influencers. And also in terms of us working as an agency, I'm going to share later on in this webinar, but crypto influencer pricing and timelines match the pricing of Bitcoin and also Ethereum, because it all comes down to supply and demand. If an influencer has more time to be able to create videos, typically these timelines would be reduced. And if they have less time, they will be lengthened out. And also the pricing literally would shoot up 10 times during a peak a season. And working with us, being an influencer marketing agency, we make sure that we lock down those rates. And so whenever you're talking to an influencer, and especially times when the market is doing very well, it's very important to lock down that pricing, lock down that time frame as quickly as possible, because things can shift very quickly. Okay, so when it comes down to crypto and NFT influencers on YouTube, a tier one influencer, and tier one influencer, we're talking, people with hundreds of thousands, million plus subscribers. They are inundated in leads and requests, and you can expect around 4 to 5 weeks from the moment, we reach out to them to figuring out what that brief is. Some of these influencers are actually in a studio where they need to shoot the content. They have video editing teams and timelines that they need to work with. And that's why it does take a while. And so being very conservative here in terms of what you can expect with timelines. Tier two, slightly less, because they don't get that sheer volume that tier one gets. And then tier three, they're usually much faster. And so what we do here as an agency, we kind of understand what your timeframes and deadlines are, and then we would be able to find you the optimal influencers that meet your deadlines and also can drive you traffic at what would be a good performing metrics and even ROI and click through on being valuable for your business. When it comes to Twitter posts are significantly less time. And Twitter posts could be anything from a retweet to a pin tweet to asking them to comment on your last, post, or even doing something like this in the bottom right, which is a thread about everything that you do as a platform, and even a link to an airdrop or some kind of link viral sharing mechanism there. And so in terms of Twitter, you can expect about a week for these tier ones. Tier two is 3 to 4 days, tier three, 2 to 3 days. So just kind of use this and just make sure that, you're very realistic in terms of your platform launch. And also when it comes to influencers, make sure that you kind of fit their timelines and fit your own timelines, and being very reasonable with it. So here's a case study. So Eddie is one of our business development associates here at Crowdcreate, and also an advisor to Crowdcreate. And he also is launching his own social token. It's called Winter, and he actually did a celebrity influencer engagement with Little Yachty. Little Yachty has 5.4 million followers. This is Eddie here speaking on CNBC. Little Yachty has 5.4 million followers on Twitter, 10 million on Instagram. You can expect celebrity endorsements like this to range, $150,000 and up. And then again, when you're dealing with the Kardashians and even larger celebrities with 5 times the reach as Little Yachty, you can be expecting to pay in the millions of dollars. And you've seen it, everyone from Tom Brady to Steph Curry working with FTX. These celebrity influencers are a great way to brand yourselves, but it comes at a very high cost. So at the end of the day, I know we're talking about influencers, but the goal is for you to become a thought leader yourself. And then you can control your own narrative. You can have your own communication channels. And then it is that much less expensive to go ahead and get exposure. So how do you become a thought leader yourself, where you are the influencer? We do recommend speaking at conferences. We host our own conferences here at Crowdcreate for this exact reason. Again, we had on that CryptoCom, we had on VC investors, we had on crypto founders, we had on even the editor-in-chief of Cointelegraph at the events. And these are great ways just to overall brand yourself as a thought leader alongside other people in your space that are really pushing the industry forward. We do take an education first approach that draws in other investors. We know about all the meme tactics and techniques. That's something you can definitely do to kind of entertain and get exposure to what you're doing. And so in terms of these videos that you're creating with influencers, you can also turn this into long-term content that will get watched. So here's an example of the video that we did with the Sandbox at their private mansion in Beverly Hills, where they had on Bored Ape, the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs on display in the background. We would then take this video and content, and then we would re-syndicate it on YouTube and also post this throughout Twitter. So it's important in using that Crypto 1DO, for example, take that video and post it on as many channels as possible. We're talking, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, press release, if possible, on whatever the story may be. But this way, you can also have distribution partners to push out anytime you create content so that you can recycle these assets. And it's not just a one-time use for this. So from this one Sandbox, which is a Animoca Brands company, we had over 5,000 views just in the span of 24 hours. We featured it at our conference. We also use this opportunity to create a high quality video. And so again, recycle and reuse these videos. The more content you produce, the more engaged your audience and the more traffic to your website. So truly more content equals faster growth. That's everything from events, social media management, community management, and paid ads. So again, while we do influencer, crypto and NFT influencer marketing, we also supplement that with other marketing services here at Crowdcreate. So when we are looking for influencers, maybe a lot of people are asking, like, how do we build our own database? We have over 15 different data sources: YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, events, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, AngelList, PitchBook, you name it, any crypto outlets that are out there. And we also have advanced like data scrapers and just full-time team looking at activity in the crypto and NFT markets and seeing who is valuable. We just announced and have it in beta right now, our self-serve platform. So yes, you will be able to access the same investors and influencers that Crowdcreate uses for our clients and at different VCs and whatnot. It is here at connect.crowdcreate.us, and you will be able to kind of use this self-serve software as a service platform. So when it comes down to figuring out who would be those ideal influencers to work with, we do ask the clients, who specifically you would like to work with, if there's any names. And also we could provide the data for you as well. And we come up with these highly targeted and qualified influencer lists. This is how we do it. So our search intent and discovery engine from our data research team, anytime somebody posts a video to YouTube or Twitter, with certain keyword terms like crypto or NFT, they're in our database. And so we're constantly looking for crypto influencers that are out there. And if you have your own project, you want to find those user intent keywords that match your project description. So say, for example, if you're a DeFi platform or if you're a crypto wallet, those are keyword terms that you should type into YouTube and Twitter and find other influencers that have, well-respected influence in that. And when they talk and speak, people will trust them. In the example of Crypto 1DO, she's awesome. She was actually a brand ambassador for Celsius, and people know that she's a user for Celsius. And so when she talked about Abra, it was a natural fit. What we also do, this is an example of a spreadsheet we build out for our clients. We also research your competitors' names. So if you're a crypto wallet, we'll research Coinbase, Binance, Celsius. If you're an NFT, we have built out, our database has all the top thought leaders from Bored Ape Yacht Club, Axie Infinity, CryptoPunk, NBA Top Shot, CryptoKitties. All these keyword terms, they are sitting in our database. And we use this relationship science in terms of finding those highly targeted and qualified influencers for your business. And again, this network and this database, we've built it since 2015 of our company started. We fly to these various crypto conferences, we meet in person, we talk to them virtually, and we use this database here that we shared. Is very useful for not just influencer marketing, but also investor marketing, PR, and it is a SaaS-based platform that will allow you to get access to. We use relationship science to tap into hard to reach audiences. So say, for example, crypto is now going mainstream. They may be targeting Gen Z audiences, or maybe sports athletes, or maybe people in the small business community. This is all something that we do on our data research side to be able to find you the right audiences. And when you do become a client of Crowdcreate, we help you tap into these niche audiences and make sure it's a good fit. Here's something really interesting, and we get asked this a lot: how much do influencers cost? And again, without dating this video, you could see every time there is major price movements in Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, the price of influencers change, and it changes dramatically. And so I want to share here, back in 2017, which I shared when we were doing influencer marketing with Floyd Mayweather and Ian Bellina, pricing for these top tier influencers could have anywhere been from like 25 to 30, upwards of Floyd Mayweather, $100,000. And then the moment the market dropped, so did prices. And this was the time that really you should have been building. And the OG influencers that stayed consistent, like Ivan on Tech, who we've worked with and sent over clients multiple times, this is a great time to kind of get exposure to your project. And then, where are we today in terms of 2021? These finfluencers have risen to fame. It is now, we are currently in the middle of NFT and IDO mania. Just to give you an idea, influencers that we were talking to just 1 month ago that were charging $5,000 to $10,000 for a video are charging $250,000. Yes, it is a 10x increase. That is on the very extreme side of things. But in terms of influencer pricing, it comes down to supply and demand. And when these hype cycles happen, and all of a sudden, 10 projects want to work with a certain influencer, well, they don't have the bandwidth to be able to work with these projects. And so what happens is naturally the prices increase. How do you combat this? Working with a crypto and NFT marketing influencer agency like Crowdcreate, what we do is we lock in pricing with these influencers to make sure that we are able to lock it in before the price runs away. And we also, I can explain here how we do bulk purchases with influencers, because when you are an influencer, you also want consistent work. And so, sharing here different influencer marketing engagements that we do at Crowdcreate. We have 3 ways of doing this. One is done for you, right? We do everything. We talk to the influencers, we do the negotiation, we get it placed, we help you create the creative brief, we select the influencers, it's on cruise control. Done with you. This is typically when teams have their own in-house influencer marketing team or marketing associates as well. We create a Slack group. We help you find those influencers. We can take some of the initial discussions and filtering, off of your plate and really help you. This is for teams that are a lot more engaged. So we work with enterprises from extremely large exchanges to smaller token sales. And there's also the do-it-yourself platform, which I shared. It's a self-serve platform on a connect.crowdcreate.us. And so here, this is an example of that do-it-yourself platform that you saw. It's in beta right now. I do recommend getting on as quickly as possible, because we will be capping the amount of people that does have access to our database, and consider this your unfair advantage in terms of being able to target the same investors and influencers that we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and years building. So when it comes to influencer funnels, let me share this. This is actually the project management tool that is being used for our campaigns, and it's something called Nifty. And so let me go ahead and pull it up here so you can just see how robust it is. This is for one client. We have multiple clients, but you can see just how organized and dialed it is in across negotiation, across outreach, across production, and everything in between. And again, when it comes to influencer engagements and negotiation, you're talking about what could anywhere be from 10 to 30 messages back and forth in a Twitter thread to email marketing back and forth. And that's what goes on behind the scenes. So here's kind of an explanation when it comes down to influencer pricing, how Crowdcreate can get better pricing than you could on your own, and why it's more beneficial and clients choose to work with Crowdcreate. So one, we have an established relationship. These influencers, they come to our conference. We've known them for many years. And why is trust so important? Because in the world of crypto, there's a lot of rug pulls, there's a lot of scams out there, and you have to think about it from an influencer that they don't want to spend time doing due diligence, figuring it out whether or not this client's actually going to pay. That's all wasted time for them when they could be creating content. So when these influencers trust us, they typically give us better rates. And so influencers are people too, and they want to work with trusted partners. And Crowdcreate, we've been around since 2017 and worked with these companies, and we've said no to even a lot of companies that want to work with us because our brand name and our reputation is everything for us. And so we also don't haggle with these influencers, and we don't waste their time, and we're committed. And so another reason that we can get better influencer pricing is we do these bulk promotional buys. And the analogy I like to use is think of it like Costco. When you're buying this big pack of toilet paper, you could either buy, the 24 pack, or you can go to the individual store and buy them one at a time. If you think about this from an influencer, they would prefer to work in bulk packages because they can streamline their workflow for production, and they also want long-term clients. And so that's what we offer them. So we offer this wholesale pricing for our clients as well. And we also have negotiation tactics that we're used. And we're considered that third-party trusted middleman to deliver on our clients' expectations when it comes down to deliverables, to make sure that the disclosure was set, to make sure that, pronounced correctly. And, these companies use us as that third party to make sure that it gets done. And there's a lot that these companies don't know. And because we work in such a large volume with these influencers, we've seen it before. We know what's going to happen. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And because we work with such a large number of clients, we're able to understand this. And then lastly, we understand the dynamic market rates. When you're in a bull market, you're a bear market, we understand the pricing for influencers because we track them. And we would be able to help you, negotiate and possibly find you an engagement with another influencer that has just as much reach, just as much, clout, and is on the up and up compared to other influencers. And so while, we have clients approaching us saying they want to work with XYZ influencer, maybe there's a price spike, we would make recommendations as a substitute. And at the end of the day, influencers we consider them our marketing channel, and it all comes down to numbers and metrics. So here's an example of some reports when working with Crowdcreate. So depending on your package, we are very active in terms of weekly calls, monthly reports, weekly reports, open rates, reply rates. Every day you are in our Slack channels where we communicate with you and your team to see who we're reaching out to, what kind of negotiations we're having. Maybe something happened quickly in the news and you wanted to reach out to a certain influencer to kind of piggyback that story. We are in real time in Slack, and basically you would have the team like an extension of your own. So in this deck, yes, I will share it. You'll have access to our weekly reports, an example of a Slack channel where we're very active and communication's healthy. So here's some case studies. Star Atlas. This is Solana's most successful NFT gaming launch, and it was an oversubscribed token sale. You can visit our websites. We have a full case study laying out what it was like for Michael Wagner, the CEO of Star Atlas, to work with us. And what's really interesting is that Star Atlas approached us 8 months before their token sale. And back when play to earn gaming wasn't the buzzword, Michael Wagner was just phenomenal in terms of connecting with esports gaming communities, attending every single event that he could, and really is a model in terms of getting influence, making himself a thought leader, and tapping into these networks of influencers and also strategic partners. So if you go to YouTube, go ahead and type in Star Atlas. You're just going to see countless numbers of YouTube videos that have been made about the project. Everyone from Ivan on Tech to some of the top NFT gaming influencers that are mentioned in our list that we put on our website. So we help you partner with these large channels. Working with influencers isn't just for your token sale or your token launch. It's for strategic partnerships and communications for the next 9 to 12 months. And so, raising capital, it doesn't stop there. We help with finding you the people that can just share updates on what you're doing and constantly just build a business, get more users, get more visibility to what you're doing. Here's another case study. We connected this NFT gaming project with top tier VC investors, Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures. Hanif Knight, very successful founder as well, an NFT gaming project. So again, when it comes down to influencer marketing, it's not just influencer marketing that we do, but it's also, translating that into investors as well. So here, in terms of what a scope of deliverables, in terms of working with Crowdcreate, you would need to book a call. And so this is just a rough example of what it would look like working with our company, whether you need YouTube or Twitter influencers. This is an example scope of deliverables and how we, basically put together packages that work with any type of company and whatever their needs are. If it's, I want to work with only tier 1 influencers, I want to work with tier 3, this is who I'm trying to target, please schedule a call with us and we would be able to discuss that. So in terms of scheduling a free call, it's go to our website, crowdcreate.us, and then you could go ahead and access our Connect platform as well that is in beta at connect.crowdcreate.us. So thank you everyone for attending. We can finish it up with some last questions and we will go ahead and share this recording as well as the deck. So anonymous attendee, you said the lists are free, but there's only 3 contacts. I think you might be referring to the self-service platform. If you visit the connect.crowdcreate.us, there's different packages and plans that you could go ahead and try out. And if you have any questions, feel free to chat with us on Telegram, Twitter, all of the above. Another attendee is asking, can you get a hold of Acon? It's really interesting. And so I like to say that we could try to get you in touch with anybody. And using Acon as an example, Acon launched Acoin, and Acoin was actually a speaker at our crypto conference. And so when people are saying, I want to get in touch with Justin Bieber, I want to get in touch with CZ, or I want to get in touch with Justin's son, Satoshi Nakamoto, just kidding. But what we do is, again, we work our network and our database to be able to get in touch with them. And we have been in this space for so long. And we run one of the largest crypto influencer investor and strategic partner networks in the world. If you wanted to get a hold of Acon or any of these influencers, you can see here that we actually did. And so we would ask Lynn to bring on Acon for the next project. And yeah, that's ultimately what we do. So again, just wanted to thank everyone for attending this webinar. I'll go ahead and share this recording and also a link to the deck. And next steps would be to schedule a call with us. Please visit our website, crowdcreate.us, and looking forward to chatting with you and wish you all the best on your crypto and NFT project. Thank you. And feel free to share this with anybody as well.